Hi, I'm Daniel with etrailer, and today we're going to take a look at, I'm going to show you how to install the B&W trailer hitch on our 2022 Toyota Highlander. If you're looking for a hitch that goes on your Highlander, then chances are you're wanting to put an accessory back here, maybe a bike rack or a cargo carrier, or you can even use this to do some light-duty towing. When putting a hitch on your vehicle, of course, you're going to be permanently modifying the way your vehicle looks. And as far as this one goes, it looks pretty good. The cross tubes are completely hidden behind the rear fascia. And your safety chain loops are actually hidden as well behind this bracket, so it looks pretty clean. Speaking of those safety cable loops, they are hidden, but they're still accessible. You can get a clevis style back here or an S-hook. This hitch has a 2" by 2" hitch receiver opening, and that's going to fit most of your standard accessories. You will need a pin and clip to secure those accessories in your 5/8" hole here. And I would recommend upgrading to a locking pin. That way no one can come and take your accessory back here. If you are somebody who's planning on towing with your hitch, it does have a max towing capacity of 5,000 pounds, and that is going to be the trailer plus what's packed inside of it. Now, do always check your owner's manual and make sure you're towing at your lowest rated component, so you're towing nice and safe. Now, the tongue weight on this hitch is going to be 750 pounds, and that's the weight pushing down on the hitch receiver, and that's good to know for accessories like bike racks or cargo carriers and knowing how much you can load those up. Now I'll get you a couple measurements that you may need to know. So from the ground to the top of the inside of the hitch receiver, it's going to be about 16 1/4. So that measurement's good to know if you want to make sure you don't bottom out with a long accessory, or you're trying to get a ball mount and level out a trailer. Now the next measurement is going to be from the center of the hitch pin hole to the outside of the bumper, and this one's about 1 inch. So that's good to know for folding accessories like a bike rack, and you want to make sure that can fold up and doesn't hit your bumper. Now that's really small, so most folding accessories is definitely going to work with this. I would recommend getting some trailer wiring included when you get a hitch. Sometimes you have accessories like bike racks that have lights on the back, and of course when you're towing you definitely need those so everyone knows when you're turning and when you're stopping. We got the Kurt trailer wiring today, and that one worked pretty good. It was a plug and play, but definitely check if you have the factory tow package as well. If you have any questions about how to figure out if your Highlander has a factory tow package or what hitch is going to be best for your setup, then feel free to reach out and we'd love to help you out. Now, as far as install goes, I do particularly like the B&W hitches because they come in 3 parts. So they'll come to your house a little bit smaller, and you can install this yourself because you can get both the side pieces up and then the middle section's a lot more manageable. A lot of these hitches are really heavy, so you need 2 people to lift them in place. So that is a plus with these. And the installation was pretty simple and straightforward, so anyone can do it. But if you don't have the time or tools to do it yourself, that's understandable, and we do have a dealer locator you can check out, so someone in your area can get this installed for you. But if you're looking to install it yourself, follow along and I'll walk you through the process. First thing you want to do is remove your spare tire. Just so we have some more room to work under here. So get this set to the side. And if you're wondering how to do that, it's really simple. You just open your trunk and there's some tools back here allowing you to do that. On the right side there's a nut, and you just use the tool provided and you just loosen that up until you can get your tire down. We'll have to remove these plastic underbody panels, and there's going to be one on either side. So I got a 10mm socket. I'm going to come down here to the mud flap and remove these 2 screws, and there's going to be one more closer to the rear. Next, there's going to be several push pin fasteners we'll have to take off. So I got a flathead, and I'm just going to get that center section pushed out. So I'm going to twist. It's a little gummed up, so I don't want to break it, so I'm going to use a trim panel tool and get this to work out. On the passenger side, there is another 10mm bolt, a little closer up to the top. I'll get that removed, and once you get all those push pin fasteners, you should be able to take this out, and we'll set this to the side. And on the driver's side, there is going to be some fasteners. I'm going to use a 13mm socket, and they're just plastic nuts. You may need to pull down to get them to come off of those pegs. And once you've done that and got all the push pins out, you should be able to just lift this one out as well. And we'll set this to the side. On both sides of the frame rail, you're going to have some grommets we'll have to remove. And we can just pry these out. On the passenger side, we remove those grommets, and on the one closest to the front, there's going to be a bolt and a bracket that we'll have to remove. So I have a 17mm socket, and I'll get this taken down. We'll have a tab, and it's going to be our rear fascia support. We'll just get the push pin fastener removed so we can lower this down. We can start putting our hitch into place. I have the side bracket, and this is going to be our driver's side. So you want those holes to be facing in towards the center of the vehicle, and you want this 90-degree facing in as well. We have 3 threaded holes where we had those grommets. I'll just get this lined up and put our hardware in place. We're going to have our larger bolts in our kit and a conical tooth washer. Just want to make sure those teeth are facing the metal, so when we tighten this in, it'll bite the metal and hold in place. The passenger side bracket is going to get installed the same way, and the holes are going to be facing the middle, but this angled piece, that's going to be facing out towards the tires. And then the bolts are going to get installed the same, except the one closest to the cab, we're going to put this bracket back in place. We're going to put that on top of the hitch. We can get the center section of the hitch in place, and I'll just put it on that ledge of the driver's side. And it can rest there while I work on the passenger. I'm just going to lift that fascia down so I can get it to squeeze up there. And now we can get our hardware in. I'll take our smaller bolt that comes in our kit, and I'll line up the holes. And on the other side, I'll just get our nut. I'll get a bolt on the other side just to make sure this stays where it needs to, and I'll get the remaining hardware in and get it all hand tight. Using a 14mm wrench and socket, I'm going to tighten up all of our hardware from the center section. Before we get the hardware tightened up that's going into the frame, we want to make sure this is centered. As you can see, it can move side to side. So there's actually 2 notches on the rear bumper, so I'm just going to center it between those. And that looks pretty good. So now we can tighten everything down. I'm using a 19mm socket. I'll get these all tightened down. With everything tightened up, we can torque everything down to the specs in the instructions. If you don't have a torque wrench at home, you can usually rent one from a local auto parts store. We can cut sections out of our panels so we can get these back in place. This is our driver's side, and where I marked it out is where I'm going to cut. So I'm just going to use an oscillating tool and get this portion cut out. We got that cut out, and on this side we're going to have to get this part cut out as well. And I just followed this line straight up, and then I went a 1/2 inch from this radius right here. Now I'll get this driver's side piece back in place. I did get the passenger side panel back in. This one is a little bit difficult to get in. You just have to bend it a little bit. Now I'll just put all of our hardware back in the same way we took it out. Once you get those panels back in place, you can put your spare tire back up and start using your B&W trailer hitch on your 2022 Toyota Highlander. Thanks for watching.